The protests in Ottawa are not sitting well with many politicians in the House of Commons, but for MP Greg Fergus, the images of Confederate flags really struck a chord with him. He made a very passionate speech this week in Parliament that is getting everyone's attention. And let's speak to him now. Greg Fergus is the MP for Hull-Aylmer and chair of the Parliamentary Black Caucus. Mr. Fergus.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'll be very honest, right? So I saw this speech and I saw you and I'm saying to myself, who is this guy? Why haven't I seen him before? And he's a Quebec MP, and his English is amazing. I love Greg Fergus. That's my initial reaction, and I know nothing about you. So,
well, I grew up in Montreal listening to CJAD, so that. What else do you need to know?
Greg Fergus, a man after my heart. Greg, listen, I've seen the bio, Carleton and University of Ottawa and that kind of stuff. What else should I know about you?
Father of 3, grandfather of 2, a guy who wears his heart in his sleeve and loves being at service to the people and really believes in our country and our democracy. We got a good thing going. We got to work hard to keep it.
So, you believe in our country, you believe in our democracy, and then over the last week in Ottawa, definitely some signs that make me go, oh, geez, where are we headed? Tell me, Greg, more on what you've been feeling.
Look, Parliament is more than just a place. I know sometimes we're a little cynical about politics, but really, we do have a democracy here. We have the ability that each one of us has full and equal value. It's a symbolic center of our democracy. And to see people coming up onto the Hill with swastikas and Confederate flags, and mind you, let me be really clear, these were very, very few people. But the ones who were there carrying that up, that was so deeply offensive and also deeply intimidating. Because if anyone has just a cursory understanding of what the swastika meant, what Nazism meant, and what the Holocaust was, or the Confederate flag, which really was a symbol of slavery. And slavery is just not a nice little word. This was state-sponsored terrorism that brutalized black bodies, that led to torture and lynchings, beatings and whippings, not to mention the forced labor aspect of it. Well, let's have, en français, we say, on va remettre les pendules à l'heure, we're going to reset the clocks. Let's step back here and think about what's being said.
How do we reset it, Greg? That to me is $1 million question here. Do you have any ideas?
Well, I think we have to call it out. I know we have the Canadian propensity that we try to ignore the things that are uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to confront, and sometimes we have to say, look, you can have your liberty of expression or freedom of expression with limits, but now you've gone beyond the limit. And this is not right, and find some other way to express how you're feeling.
Greg, the protest in Ottawa has been going on for a while now. Residents in Ottawa have had enough. We're seeing a lot of frustration. I'm worried about the reaction there. After 7 days of hearing horns, I'm worried that someone will snap, right, of a resident, right? What are your thoughts on what's happening there right now?
I think for the protesters, they should remember the old Kenny Rogers song. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. They've made their point. People heard their point. It's time for them to go home. They're losing any goodwill that they may have had, and now it's becoming totally counterproductive. It's time to go home.
We're with Greg Fergus, MP for Hull-Aylmer, chair of the Parliamentary Black Caucus. Greg, you say that, but it seems to me it will require a much tougher stance from police, Ottawa Police, RCMP, maybe even more than that. How far do authorities have to go here? How far can they go, do you believe?
I think the best thing is for cooler heads to prevail, and it would be the best thing for the organizers of this event to say, all right, we've made our point, it's time to go home. No one wants to take this any further. But the city has to live, and people have to be able to come out of their homes. They have to be able to sleep at night. They have to be able to get to work and get to their jobs. This is no longer useful. Mm-hmm. And it's certainly not making any political points that anyone's listening to anymore.
Greg, this week in Parliament, when you made that speech, one of the things you mentioned is that normally you'd rise at this time to speak about Black History Month. And I just went with Greg. That's okay. Can I call you Greg? That's
please.
Okay?
Everybody calls me that.
Fantastic. So you brought that up here. And, of course, this year, very, very different. But I do want to get your perspective, because sometimes I feel that right now, and I just feel the vibe in this country is to sort of look down at Canada as like things are terrible. And sometimes I feel that happens when there's so much success in this country of people coming together.
Elias, you're so right. I mean, yeah. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. This is an incredible country. I won the lottery of life by being born here. My parents immigrated here. They worked extremely hard to give my brother and sister and myself a good living. They were, great citizens and contribute to this country. I think this is a great country. Now, look, we have some things that we could do a lot better. We don't have to look any further than how we treat Indigenous peoples. I would say that you would also have to take a look at how we've treated Black Canadians. And there's so many other things that we need to do. But don't mistake this and don't take it as being critical and this is the worst place ever. That is certainly not the case. It's just not true. It's the greatest country, and we want to make it better.
So, Greg, sometimes I feel, though, that kind of language and rhetoric comes not from the extreme right. I feel it comes from like center-left Canadians and very left Canadians and political parties. They're the ones who bring me down. And I love how you put it, because I've said it on the air. We won the lottery. Being born in Canada, winning the lottery. So do you see that too? Does sometimes maybe your government not do a good enough job of being the Canada cheerleader?
Well, Elias, you're going to get me into the question in terms of what do people pay attention to. We are a huge cheerleader of this country. You wouldn't, if you didn't think that there was any hope for the future, you wouldn't try. And so this is a great country. We say it all the time, and we also know we can make it a better country. And so let's work together to make it better. Let's look at the past with clear eyes, but not get caught up in it, because we just need to know the past so that we can build a better future, not make the same mistakes. Let's make new mistakes. That's what I always say. Let's make innovative mistakes. Don't repeat the old ones.
Greg, the love on the text line is coming in. And there are a lot of people like me saying, I'd never heard of Greg Fergus before, and now I like the guy. Listen, thanks for coming on the show. A CJD 800 listener on this radio station. I'm all for it, and come back real soon, okay?
Love to. Thanks for the invitation.
Greg Fergus, MP for Hull-Aylmer, chair of the Parliamentary Black Caucus, CJD 800 listener. What's not to like?